At mile marker 1 on IH-35 begins a boulevard to what is Lincoln Bridge, a string of green spaces devastated by neglect. Its history represents the crossroads with all of the points north and south of the hemisphere and east and west of the city. A letter by Gateway Park Community, 2013.
This is it. If you had a central nervous system, this is it. This entrance from Mexico into the United States.
A city is a collective testament to its culture, its people, and its values. In its totality, it telegraphs to the world the aspirations of those who live there. The 4 blocks leading to the What is Lincoln Bridge, whose fate were sealed long before they existed, tell the story of Laredo, Texas, a historic city whose identity is rooted in its cultural duality and proximity to Mexico.
This city has grown to become a landmark for trade and logistics.
Laredo's a powerhouse when it comes to trade, and we got to make sure that this powerhouse stays in place.
14,000 trucks daily already cross back and forth with parts and finished goods, making Laredo the nation's busiest inland port.
This is definitely true. The bridge system has given Laredo a competitive advantage, but it's also had an impact in the fabric of the city in dramatic ways. When the city was founded in 1755, only 85 residents lived here. But when a new transportation route made the city more viable, more people started coming. By 1789, the population had grown tenfold, reaching 708 inhabitants. Laredo outlived other settlements because it was an important crossing point. In the 1920s, the Pan American Conferences opened the United States to Latin American markets through a connecting route. And 30 years later, highways became the norm.
These new highways will have a far-reaching economic impact on the entire nation.
And they did, but they also disrupted American lifestyle from border to border. In 1960, the construction of I-35 would be stalled at Victoria Street. But not much later, it became apparent that the gateway to the Americas Bridge was not sufficient for the traffic and trade crossing through Laredo. A combined I-35 extension, a bridge, and an inspection complex became increasingly attractive and logical to city officials. Even when feasibility studies advised the bridge extension would have an adverse impact on the surrounding colonial neighborhoods, any alternative routes were deemed impractical.
It was hurtful. People didn't like it. There were houses that were there for hundreds of years, and because the state wanted a straight shot into Mexico.
As a way of placating those in fear of future demolition of historic buildings, the neighborhood adjacent to the site would become the San Agustin Historic District in 1974. Months later, 390 residents, 148 homes, 26 small businesses, 14 structures of architectural significance, and a total of 7 blocks were lost. But in actuality, they were lost long before they were taken away. The priority of highway and trade overcame the need for community and neighborhoods. The afterthought of this highway is known as the 4 blocks. And although there have been attempts to restructure this area, none of the efforts celebrated the distinctive spirit of the site.
In 2013, a group of advocates known as the Gateway Park Community endeavored to elevate the place as a landmark where the spirit and the aspirations of Laredo could be represented.
This was an initiative by not only architectural firms and people that were interested in seeing this particular area of Laredo develop, if for nothing else, for accentuating that we are the gateway to Mexico.
The connection to I-35 was necessary for the progress of the city and the country. As a result, our cities thrive as the largest inland port. The 4 blocks reveal the dichotomy between highways and trade versus community and neighborhood. It's in this place that exists a singular opportunity to reconcile the greatness of Laredo as a port and as a city.